All right, Shalom. It's the brother Kaya from GMS New Orleans coming back at you with another lesson. Prior to getting started, as I always do, I'd like to give infinite honors and prayers to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kahagwadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation to the Agams that's pushing the truth and sincerity. Lord willing, this video be edifying first and foremost the whole elect, then those that cleave to the body. And I have two articles here queued up on how cash money, physical fiat currency, having cash is becoming very offensive. All right. What I mean by it being very offensive is offensive to the people that's you're exchanging it to, which, you know, the companies, these stores, you know, that we go to for goods, exchanging, the barter, the barter system. And also even, people look at you funny, man. I believe if you are shopping in your local, stores, wherever you go, Whole Foods, Walmarts, wherever, and if you in line and you see somebody pull out a pocket full of cash, you hear some back talking, small talk. You look around, people looking at you real funny. All right, but this was a method set up, by the global elites, the IMF, those big wigs, okay, to basically do away with money, all right, physical money, right, so we could transition to the next stage of currency, which is digital, you see. But in order to do that, you gotta, like you say, you gotta rid the whole system of the physical currency, which, that has been done, for the sake of ushering in credit cards with chips in them, just moving everything to contactless payment. What then happened is now, all right, making contact, making payment with actual money, all right, begins to become offensive. All right, now I'm gonna read this article, and Lord willing to be edifying. I got another little article I just queued up. I just typed in the C19 and paper money. All right, it says, I've been with Chase since 2014. Car dealership owner says Chase no longer wants him as a customer because he makes too much money. And a lot of times, when people don't understand with these bank accounts, all right, things can happen. But we're just focusing on here. They can just close your account with no forewarning. All right, but what's happening here is we're gonna strictly harp on the fact that he make large cash deposits, deposits. All right, and the thing is, they didn't say they don't want to allow checks, right? I mean, I'm obviously this guy not a billionaire, probably, millionaire at best. All right, you own a car dealership, you can be financially up there, but hey, you never know. I'm just generalizing it. All right, for the most part, they having issues with the deposit amounts he's doing, but really cash. All right, now let's get into it. It says, one man is on a hunt for a new bank after Chase closed his accounts for having too much money. Now what's crazy is you got to go and find somebody, struggle to find somebody to give your money to hold your money. That in itself is just crazy to me. All right, as if I'm a little goddamn child and can't manage account what I have, so just to even want to do that, it shows a level of incompetence, man. And these people controlling your money, at any time they can shut these banks down. But that's neither here nor there. That's not the point of this video. The point of the lesson is how they have instrumentally made money disappear. All right, actual physical money into what? Fiat currency. It says, in a viral TikTok a car dealership owner claims Chase Bank kicked him out for making too many cash deposits. Aslam Shabib, or whatever, says Seeb, or whatever, however you say that, says he had personal and business accounts with Chase for 11 years. He received a letter in the mail notifying him that all his accounts would be closed for excessive cash deposits. Now, when he said it was closed, hey, they made a game hassle of getting his money. I didn't look into it deep, but it's just really about the fact of what they're doing about, you know, him making cash deposits, closing his account, man. All right? It says, so I guess what they fear is money laundering, which is crazy because I'm a car dealership, Steve says. He explains that sometimes customers pay up front in cash for the cars, which means he often makes deposits over $10,000. The dealership owner says he tried to explain this to Chase, but they refused to reinstate his accounts. Now I gotta find a new bank. All right, can your bank close your account without consent? Yes, a bank can close your accounts for any reason and without notifying you, per se NBC. See? So you give people your money who can just close your account and then don't have to answer for it, because it's in a fine print when you sign up with these people, these banks accounts, and you agree to the terms and disclosures. What then happens is that you agree to, if we close or anything happen to your money, and you're not insured, you're not going to be able to get it. It says any deposit over $10,000 requires the bank to notify the government by filing a suspicious activity report. Now, they take the money that people put in the bank. I don't know if people know, they're using your money, all right, for different causes, researches, whatever they're doing it for, projects, all right. They're using your money to basically, fund whatever, whatever they need done. They use your money, all right. So when you come to get large amounts, put large amounts in, all right, that notifies the government, okay? So that's a SRA, a SAR. This is to prevent suspicious activity report. This is to prevent any illegal activities like money laundering. And Steve said, all right, so he has his occupation, and everybody know, all right, well, what money I'm laundering if I'm buying cars, whatever, right? That's just another way for them to basically, just have a reason without having a reason, okay? To basically say they don't want the cash deposit, but it's about the cash. It says one commentator speculated Chase probably thought filing those reports was too much work. Fraud analysts here, 20 years on Bankland, they wrote by fair law, every time you deposit cash in excess of $10K, they are required to file a SAR, suspicious activity report. They probably decided your access was too much work. News, according to U.S. News, you can't trick the bank by breaking it up into smaller deposits either. They call this structuring, and the bank will be on to you. Okay? Credit unions, all right. Another road, TD Bank is really good with cash deposit and money laundering as well. Never had an issue. All right. So that's the point. All right. However, okay, it says, why do people fear cash now? In a follow-up clip, Steve demanded to know why the 10,000 rule was still in place in 2025. Money has changed, he said. 10,000 today isn't what it was 20 years ago, all right? He said he mentions how this barrier has been set everywhere, including when you travel out the country, right? Now let's...
Email from Chase saying that they're closing my accounts. I have two. I have a personal and a business. And I've been with Chase for, I don't know, since 2015, 14, so like 11 years. Now, when I just called them to see, hey, why am I being kicked out, they told me that you have an excessive amount of cash deposits. So I guess what they fear is money laundering, which is crazy because I'm a car dealership. And they said that I have a lot of, I guess my deposits are over 10 grand. And I told them, I said, I have cars over $10,000 and sometimes customers pay cash. And literally, I'm basically arguing. So I argue with them trying to prove my case, but it went nowhere. And now I gotta find a new bank. So if you know of a bank, let me know. I mean, I need a good bank for business. Preferably somebody that's not gonna kick me out for my business doing well. So yeah, let me know.
Yeah. So another article, yeah. It's just something I pulled up. Can you get the C from a credit card, cash, contactless payments? All right, let me get this real quick. This is Proverbs 23:7, and it reads, all right, it's just, this is the new paradigm shift, all right, with physical money. And again, like I said, if you get seen with money, that look weird to people. It's becoming foreign, all right? It says 23:5, Salakia. It says, will thou set thine eyes upon that which is not? Riches certainly make themselves wings. They fly away as an eagle towards heaven. All right? Yeah, because what's happening now, money, as you know it, is disappearing. All right? So this new system, all right, that they're trying to implement, the RFID, is the radio frequency identification device, all right, is going to hold your money along with all your personal items and things you have, IDs and all that. All right, you're gonna have this one big system just running that. All right, and through it you won't be able to make contactless payments. You're gonna have your money on it. All right, you're gonna have your life on it. So they're gonna sell it to you or advertise to you as all this as comfort. All right, no one can steal it, no one can take it. All right, it can't be, you don't have to physically handle it. All right, it's just a scan and go, right? Which ultimately is a stumbling block. Okay, but they have pushed the measures by contactless payments. Okay, this is something I just picked up on Bank Rate, right? And I'll read a little bit in it. It says paper money credit cards were also viewed as possible vectors ushering a global shift to a contactless payment. But were people really catching the C from dollar bills and small pieces of plastic? All right, let me get to the point. Can you get the C from cash? Way back in 2020, the World Health Organization, the WHO, warned that cash could be a contributor to the spread of the C. Consequently, it promoted paperless spending options such as contactless payments instead of using paper bills. Now, I went to Smoothie King the other day, and they say we don't accept cash. All right, and a lot of places, the corner stores, these places that you'll never kind of think like, all right, they'll be the last people to kind of maybe, go contactless. All right, hey, they're surprising you. Like where I went, the store, like it's like you don't, like what you mean? Like you looking at the Arabs, like what you mean you don't accept cash? But that's neither here nor there, right? We know, the Arabs, they're in a low, they in a low spot too. They over our people, but hey, they in a low place. All right, they take any goddamn thing. And them gooks, we call them gooks. That's Moab and Ammon. We call them gooks here. All right, but it says Some people even begin soaking dollar bills in Lysol to sterilize them. Chinese banks begin disinfecting and isolating used banknotes with UV lights. So the point is, I just brought that up, all right, because listen, it's just, let me read this too. Therefore, the merchants who wanted to protect their employees and customers from the spread by disallowing cash transactions can look back knowing that the preventative measures they took may have been kind gestures but had no measurable impact on abating transmission. So they're going to use this next, they're going to use the next propaganda, all right, agenda-driven part to be like, listen, we have to do all the way away with cash, all right? When the people not, your money not insured, there's going to be, they're going to come up with fake reasoning and, different things to basically push physical money. All right, just how they collected all the coins, the U.S. Mint went on a rodeo on getting, collecting nickels and pennies and, just moving that out. I mean, you rarely ever see change, all right? There won't be any change if you don't have dollars, right? If you ain't giving dollars, they can't break it to give you change, all right? I was in Walmart and I had some ones, right? I usually don't have it, but kind of had some. And the girl at the register said, I need the ones or whatever because I don't have any or nothing in my cash register, but I at least need some ones. I had like 30 or something like that. And she was like, yeah, I definitely need that. I paid like 30 and ones and then 15 and something. It was like $40-something or something. I was getting some free on or something like that. So she was like, yeah, I definitely need ones. And she opened the cash register. She didn't have anything in her, for the most part. I mean, it was in morning to midday. I mean, Walmart pretty much, make money around the clock, man. All right. But furthermore, all right, the point is, she asked for the cash, but the store didn't even have it. All right. That's, the store itself didn't have it. It says, yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, on that. Okay. For this guy here. So that's pretty much the point. I know it kind of got a little lengthy, all right, but my point is here, okay? The point is, right? Money is a defense, right? But now it's an offense, all right? Now to the consumers, to people in line, man. People murmur when they see you with money, man. They say you taking all day, just swipe your card, So this is the transitional state that they have. The transition that's taking place, all right, that they have put and instilled in the minds of people that is way easier to pay, all right, and it's more convenient, right, and it take less time. So again, money, you gotta count the money. They gotta check for the line in it to see if it's real, all right, and then we ourselves, when you think about it, we don't deal with money often unless your job or something handles where you're around money and cash or whatever. Well, but brothers don't, have cash, like, talking about it, man. I mean, brothers got bank accounts, cards and different things like that. We ourselves don't even really never have money, man. So the shift is here, okay? It's completely shifted. All right, so let me get this. Ecclesiastes 7. And 12. For wisdom is defense and money is a defense. Yeah, money being a defense, all right, it defends us. It gets us things, all right, that basically fortifies us. Food, housing, clothing, the things we need, all right. that we don't walk naked. But now the same thing that was a defense is about to become an offense. An offense. All right? Meaning now it's going to offend if you got it. See? So then to us, that becomes a sin. Right? Because if you're telling us, well, wait a minute, money is a defense, is a physical defense. If you physically taking it from us, then now, you know, what is the money we like? How are we gonna get our daily bread? You see? But this devil, you know, having the tactics he have, you know, he's gonna do this. Right? This is Sirach. That's why we not worrying about the money. Let it fly towards heaven, man. Hell with the money in the kingdom. 27:1. Many have sinned for a small matter, and he that seeketh for abundance will turn his eyes away. As a nail sticketh fast between the joinings of stones, so doeth sin stick close to buying and selling. So when you do finally go the way of trying to have your money, because to still have money when this, you know, this chip is implemented, okay, that means you're gonna have to accept it. Okay, and when you accept it, okay, you have committed the greatest iniquity there is, and there's no turning around from that, right? Judgment is on you. So sin gonna stay close to buying and selling, and if you get that joint between your stones, all right, you put your hand on that broken reed, all right, then you know the judgment is for you. So yeah, that was it, man. You know, they're gonna push this to make you pretty much, you know, put your money you know, get that contactless payment, or, you know, or furthermore, you know, fill the enterprise of the RFID, man. You know, they won't transfer the money to that, you know, honestly. So that pretty much was the point, man. Hey, you know, money is an offense right now, all right? And is, you know, it was a defense, but now it's becoming an offense, all right? Actual physical cash. And soon money itself going to be an offense overall, all right? It's going to be offensive to the Heavenly Father to have it, because you're going to have it by way of sin and iniquity, man. Right? By accepting that RFID chip, which is the MOTB. So I don't mind right the Zada was edifying, man. Till next time, I see Shalom.